Guys.
Thank you, Chris. And this is the RCA Dome in Indianapolis, where we have a pivotal AFC matchup between the New England Patriots and the Indianapolis Colts. They're the NFL's young guns, armed with enormous talent and quick strike ability.
I love having all kinds of opportunities to throw the ball. You know, that's what it's all about when you're playing quarterback. You want to throw the rock.
Drew Bledsoe has waged a full-scale assault on the NFL record book, and by season's end will own a few chapters. Marshall Faulk has had equal impact in Indy. The do-it-all back has resurrected the franchise and is on pace to topple 2,000 yards.
I would like to be a top-notch running back, you know, that can just do it all, whether it's run, pass, you know, pass catching, blocking. It doesn't really matter, you know, you're just doing whatever it takes to get the job done to see for it that his team wins.
By land and by air, guns are blazing on Sunday Night NFL. Game not only gets to 500, but ties for second place in the division and keeps its playoff hopes alive. Both Ted Marchibroda and Bill Parcells call this game the most critical they face since they've been with their respective franchises. Good evening, everybody. Mike Patrick along with Joe Theismann. It's great to have you with us. When Bill Parcells came to New England, we all expected to see NFC East-style football. Smash mouth on both sides. But 11 weeks into the season, they're 27th in rushing offense, 27th in rushing defense. More incredibly, they are #1 in pass offense. We have Air Parcells. But what great coaches do is adapt to their talent, and he's done it.
He has, Mike, and the talent on this football team is at quarterback with second-year star Drew Bledsoe. Here's a guy who leads the league in completions, attempts, as well as passing yards. He's already set 2 NFL records, and the way he's going, probably going to wind up setting a few more. I think the one thing, though, quarterbacks are judged on is how many wins you're going to get, the number of wins you get. And if the Pats are going to win, they're going to have to go to a two-dimensional style of offense. I mean, tonight they're going to have to do what they did against the San Diego Chargers. They're going to have to pound Marion Butts, take the pressure off of Drew Bledsoe. And then they're going to come back on defense and have to commit maybe 7-8 guys to the line of scrimmage to try and shut down Marshall Faulk in the running game.
Well, it was certainly effective last week against Natron Means. You know, the Colts have been bad for a long time, but at least being bad last year was good enough to get them the second pick in the draft, and they nailed one. They got Marshall Faulk. How important is he? The past 4 years without him in rushing offense, the Colts have been 27th, 28th, 28th, and 28th. With him, they are 6th. I think he means as much to this club as any player in the league means to his team.
I agree with you. And I asked Coach Marchibroda, I said, have you ever had one player mean so much to a ball club? He said, yeah. He said, Bert Jones meant an awful lot to my team. He said, but I'll qualify that. I've never had a rookie mean as much to any team as Marshall Faulk has meant to us. I mean, here's a guy who's gone out and had to really carry this football team. But if the Colts have designs on getting into the playoffs, other guys are going to have to step forward. For example, tonight, Don Majkowski is going to have to be effective throwing the football. The wide receivers are going to have to win their one-on-one battles with the corners. And defensively, they're going to have to flush Drew Bledsoe out of the pocket, make him make mistakes. You know, Mike, Marshall's carried this football team as far as he's going to be able to. I think if they're going to get over the hump, other guys are really going to have to step up.
Of course, they could use a few more holes for Marshall to run through than they had last week. And for more on that, let's get out to the field and Mark Malone.
Well, thanks, Mike. As you're well aware of, the Colts have spent a tremendous amount of money the last 2 seasons trying to beef up that offensive line. And the centerpiece of that line steps into our Sunday night spotlight tonight. All-pro left tackle Will Wolford's role becomes bigger because of the loss of right tackle Zephros Moss. Wolford is not only expected to spring Marshall Faulk tonight, but he'll have his hands full with second-year sack specialist Chris Slade. And we're going to take our spotlight camera down into the trenches and watch this battle develop blow by blow. Then I'll bring you video reports throughout the game, all on our Sunday night spotlight. Mike?
All right, thank you, Mark. Ted Marchibroda, 7 games under 500 in his second tour of duty with the Colts. The first time with the ball club, he engineered a huge turnaround and won 3 straight AFC East titles. Bill Parcells also 7 games under 500 in New England after starting from scratch. His great success, of course, was with the Giants, where he had a pair of Super Bowl championships. A little surprising here tonight at the RCA Dome, at least to me, not a sellout. Your club only 1 game from 500, a chance to get into the playoffs.
I think, Mike, it has to do with the fact that there's been mediocrity for so long that these fans are still a little bit skeptical about whether their football team really is a legitimate ball club.
Well, we'll find out tonight. This is the biggest game the franchise has had probably since the Colts moved to Indianapolis. Biasucci tees it up as New England has won the toss and elected to receive. Leroy Thompson and Ray Crittenden, excuse me, deep to receive, standing at the 2. That's Crittenden averaging more than 20 yards a return. Thompson averaging 22. Biasucci, the 10-year veteran, set to kick it off here in Indianapolis. Crushes one, and Crittenden will bring it out from 2 yards deep in the end zone. Across the 20, then gives ground and nailed about that line. Take a look at the Patriots offense. Drew Bledsoe leads the NFL with more than 3,200 yards passing. He's made some mistakes, but more often he's been spectacular. Ben Coates has excelled at his tight end friendly offense. He's on a pace to catch more passes than any tight end in history. And 2-time Pro Bowler Bruce Armstrong back to form after a severe knee injury 2 years ago. He was named to the club's 35th anniversary team. And which New England offense will we see tonight? Marion Butts, the deep man in the line, and he'll get the call. Butts rams his way out near the 25-yard line. For the Colts on defense, Tony Bennett has made a big difference in the pass rush. His 7 sacks, a full third of what the whole team had a year ago. Jeff Herrod back in the middle where he's more effective. Herrod has had at least 135 tackles each of his last 6 years. The Colts haven't had a left corner they could count on in years. Ray Buchanan moves over from free safety to solve that problem. He has all the tools. 2nd and 6. But be about 1.5 yards shy of a first down. Tony Siragusa, the big right tackle, makes the stop.
You know, Mike, this is, I really feel like what the Patriots want to do. They want to really establish a running game. You have to, if you want to look down the road a little bit, they'll play 4 games, all of them outside, and they have to realize that Drew Bledsoe is not going to be able to beat Air Bledsoe in inclement weather. So tonight would be a good night for him to start getting a running game. That's what's been such a shock. Bill Parcells says, I'm about as subtle as a punch in the mouth. 3rd and a short 3. Butts tripped up, got to the 30. It'll depend on the mark. He needed to get almost to the 31-yard line. Herrod cut his legs out from under him. Jeff Herrod, the middle linebacker in the 4-3 setup. He's responsible. They come out and does a good job of scraping off. Nice job by the defensive linemen protecting their middle linebacker and allowing them to fill the hole. You love to see a middle linebacker going forward when he makes plays, Mike. If your middle linebacker's going backward or pursuing side to side, you're having trouble stopping the run. Ever since Herrod has been on this ball club, all the defensive players acknowledge that they feed off of his leadership. And they got the first down by a couple of inches. Now, normally after 3 runs, you'd think a coach would come back and keep on pounding, but coaches by nature have itchy trigger fingers. Bill Parcells has Ray Perkins calling the plays, and Ray's a little bit of a gambler, so something may come out of this series. Patriots, the only team this year not to score on their opening drive. 4 in a row for Marion Butts. Didn't get much on this one. Herrod was there. Tony Bennett was there, number 56. Butts really enjoyed last week
beating the San Diego Chargers, had his best game of the year with 88 yards rushing.
Who says this game isn't personal?
Paybacks are fun. Leroy Thompson, number 36, an excellent receiver out of the backfield. Checks in on 2nd and 9. Bledsoe to throw for the first time. Over the middle, complete. All the way to the 30-yard line. Timpson with the grab, brought down by Eugene Daniel. Timpson's 55th catch of the year.
What happens when you bring a receiver in motion, Mike? It closes down the defense, and they have to come. See him come in motion? Now, see how the defense shuts down? That means he's got a smaller area to run through traffic, and when he gets to the middle, he can get there quicker. The linebackers haven't had a chance to get back into their drops yet, so he's in that dead zone.
Bledsoe to Timpson for 37 yards. He comes in 8th in the conference in receptions. Thompson gets a carry. Staggers forward for maybe a yard. The blocking back is Sam Gash, who gets the start tonight. Number 33. He's been a much better blocker out of that up-back set.
Stephen Grant, number 59, really did an excellent job. When Trev Alberts went down early in the year, Stephen Grant has stepped in and done an outstanding job as a left outside linebacker position.
Where's he from?
Oh, I think he's from, you're talking about Stephen Grant. I think he's from West Virginia.
I think you're right.
You're right.
2nd and 8. Patriots on their opening possession. Thompson. Bennett closed down in a hurry from that defensive end spot.
Vince Tobin, the defensive coordinator of the Colts, came in this year. Still trying to find an identity for his defense. He's looking for that guy who can put pressure on, like a Tony Bennett.
Joe, here's a moment this team has waited for a long time. Trev Alberts has checked in right now. He's lined up at the left defensive end. Their second #1 draft choice this year. Bledsoe throws complete to Coates, and Coates gang tackled as he got to the 20. That should be enough for the first down.
I want to show you something about Drew Bledsoe, Mike. A lot of guys need a pocket to step into, but you're looking at it from a defensive perspective. He throws actually over the pocket. See, there's really not a lane. There's no lane for this guy to throw over. He is one of the few quarterbacks in the league who has a release that allows you to throw over the pocket, not through it. Incredible.
Being 6'5" helps.
Well, yeah. I wouldn't know.
Simpson's the man in motion, but hammers his way to the 15-yard line, gain of about 4. Harad met him. Inside the 20-yard line this year, the Patriots in the top 1/3 of the league. 54% of the time they'll score a touchdown. They face 2nd and 6 here. Thompson to the 10 and just inside the 10. Maybe a half-yard short of a first down.
Oh, it's that on that particular play, Mike. Marion Butts has been called upon to run the football a lot, but on that play he was the lead blocker and did an excellent job on Bennett and kicking out and giving the runner a place to go. So he's right here. He's going to come in and kick out here and allow the guy to go up inside. Watch. Does a nice job of kicking out. See him kick out on Coriat? That's what made the play.
Check it. It was Gash on that last carry. Sam Gash, only the 2nd time this year he's run the football. 3rd and a yard. But first down to the 6. And this looks a little bit more like what Bill Parcells did with the New York Giants.
Well, you know, that's a great play down here. I think the shortest point you want to get to is a straight line. It's just a simple fullback lead. You're going to see the fullback. Fullback's going to come through. You hope for a push here to get it back and allow the back to read it. Here's your crease. You got 2 people on the rod. You talk about respect for a middle linebacker. They bring the guard around as well as the fullback.
1st and goal from the 6. They'll go with 2 tight ends. Coates and Burke, number 85. Oh, what a shot. Siragusa just crashed through and buried Sam Gash. Goose at 315 can do some damage.
Well, what happens is they bring too many people up for him to block. He's right here. But you watch these. Here comes the safety. Here comes the linebacker. He just fills that hole. When that hole gets filled, Big Tony's right there. The Goose. You got to block a guy 315.
Oh, yeah.
You can't turn him as a free
That's
runner.
what Gash is telling him. 2nd and goal from the 9. Butts inside the 5 and then hammered back.
The Patriot wide receivers, Mike, aren't necessarily the most physical guys in the games. I think down here what you do if you're the Colts is you're willing to commit to bring the safeties and the linebackers so that, number one, you clog up the running holes. Number two, put pressure on Bledsoe and make the receivers get away from the corners.
14th play of the drive that's lasted more than 8 minutes. 3rd and goal, and now Bledsoe will use the timeout. Didn't like the defense he saw. Timeout, 6:41 to go first quarter. The Pats have had the ball the whole time. Dome in Indianapolis. The Pats have had a drive that has lasted 8 minutes and 19 seconds from the opening kickoff. They face 3rd and goal from just inside the 5. The only team in the league that has not scored on the opening drive this year. We've got a leg up on it now. Two real good receivers, Thompson and Connor, are in at the running back slots. Gash will get the handoff, nothing doing. Harrod just stuffed him at the line of scrimmage.
That's exactly what the Colts decided to do on defense. They brought everybody up into the gap, and they were just going to file them through. Here it is from the goalpost, Cam. See, all the gaps are filled. They don't have enough blockers there, Michael, for the amount of people that the Colts brought to the line of scrimmage.
This will be a 22-yard field goal attempt for the ageless Matt Barr. And now the Patriots have scored on an opening drive for the first time this year. The Colts haven't touched the ball first quarter. Marshall Faulk will when we come back. Colts are 5-6. We asked Ted Marchibroda about the importance of this game.
For our football team and the Colt organization, this is the biggest football game that we have played in the 3 years that I've been here. We're playing games now that are meaningful as far as the playoff picture is concerned, and some of our football players have never been in this position before. So we're eagerly looking forward to this ball game, and it's an extremely big game for us.
There's Pat O'Neill, the rookie out of Syracuse, drafted in the 5th round this year, set to kick it off from the 35-yard line. Humphrey and Brewer are deep. Bill Parcells, of course, echoed the thoughts of Ted Marchibroda. Humphrey to the 23, maybe the 24-yard line. We've got a timeout, 5:53 to go, first quarter. The Colts on offense when we come back. 3 to go first quarter. Colts have the ball for the first time. They'll start just outside their own 23-yard line. Don Majkowski leads them out of the huddle. Marshall Faulk, the deep man in the eye. It's an 8-man front. Faulk weaving his way through traffic. Pushed back after he got across the 30. Ricky Reynolds made the hit. Take a look at the Colts offense. Don Majkowski gets the call. He got it when the team was 3-5. He's 1-2 of 3. He's played extremely well, even with an injured thumb. Rookie Marshall Faulk leads the club in rushing and receiving. Speed, power, intelligence. He is the complete package. And Will Wolford anchors the line. Acquired from Buffalo last year, the 2-time Pro Bowler is an excellent pass blocker. 2nd and 2 for the Colts. Roosevelt Potts, who has been used more as a blocker this year after carrying the load last year, gets the call and has the first down. Nose tackles usually enable others to make plays. Tim Goad makes them himself, too. He's 3rd on the team in tackles for the 2nd straight year. Vincent Brown leads the linebackers in stops as usual. He's a very underrated backer and a leader for the defense. Maurice Hurst, 2 picks last week with 6 interceptions for the season. He's tied for 2nd in the NFL. Faulk. What a great cut just to get a yard. Reminds me so much of Barry Sanders with that little hop step, but then he has similarities to the other great backs, too.
I think it's interesting as we compare him to different backs. The one that I liken him to, I think, the most at this stage, stature-wise, yes, Thurman Thomas and Barry Sanders, but from an acceleration standpoint, it's Tony Dorsett. He gets from 0 to 60 without ever going through gears. I mean, he's right there right now.
The only player with that distinction this year, second at 8. Magic with a quick set to Floyd. Turner couldn't hold it. Nice coverage by Ricky Reynolds, who they got from Tampa Bay. Don Majkowski, Joe, is just thrilled to have another opportunity to play.
Well, it looks like another opportunity. I mean, he hurt his thumb, for example, in Miami. As an example, he's got that soft cast on it, and he thought it would bother him a little bit more than it has. But it really hasn't been a problem. It's pretty easy. There's a soft cast right there, and right in this area is where it's giving his thumb support. But he can grip the football and says it doesn't bother him at all throwing.
Lamont Warren checks into the backfield as they go to a 4-wide receiver set. Majkowski with time. Default makes the catch behind him. Will not get the first down. Ricky Reynolds with a saving tackle.
Good job by the Patriots defense, knowing exactly how many yards need to be gotten. The linebackers did not go past that depth, nor did the corners that were rolled up.
Ron Stark, 4th all-time with a 43.9 average, and that's Troy Brown. Back to receive, waiting at his 10. Stark has won 3 NFL punting titles. The record is 4. And a great kicker for a long time. Brown at the 11. Tries to cut it back. And down near the 18-yard line. A return of 7 after a punt of 43. 3:13 to go first quarter. 3-0. 3-0. Drew Bledsoe, last year's #1 pick in the entire draft, and has certainly paid off for the Patriots. These are #1 picks in the draft overall. What they have done through their first 24 games in their career, Bledsoe with more yards and more touchdown passes than any of them. Some pretty decent arms and brains on that list, too. 33 touchdowns, 5,749 yards in 24 games. Butts and Turner are the best. Bledsoe looks for Turner in the flat and has it. Daniel makes the first hit and then gets some help at the 27.
Drew Bledsoe does something unusual, Mike. He carries the ball a little bit low, but he can get it up so quick to get it out. Watch how he sets up. He does the play action fake. Now, you don't like a quarterback to carry the ball down low. See how it's down low in this area right here? You want him to have it up a little bit higher. But he gets it up and over the top so quickly that it's not affected even by the defensive linemen getting their hands up.
2nd and a yard after a gain of 9. And the dive out near the 30 for Kevin Turner. They've got the first down.
I just don't feel like the Colts can sit in that weight defense like they did the first drive that the Patriots had. I think they're going to have to commit to go after him, if not to go after Bledsoe, to go after the holes to stop the running game. Because they're not pressing the outside. They're trying to run between the tackles.
Sam Gash will check in as the blocking back from Marion Butts. The big guy gets the call. Only makes it to the 31. Harrod on the bottom of the pile again. Patriots did a much better job, particularly a week ago, of running the football. Butts had 88 yards, but they still come in 27th in the NFL, averaging just a little bit more than 77 yards a game.
Mike, I was talking to Mike Pope on the field, their running back coach, before, and he said, you know, we've been behind in 5 of the games, so we really haven't had a chance to establish any kind of a running game.
Trev Alberts, number 51, back in there at a defensive end spot on 2nd and 9. Butts shakes the tackle. Alberts got him around the ankles and then got some help. So the rookie from Nebraska, who dislocated his right elbow in the preseason, seeing his first action of the year.
Sam Gash does an excellent job. There he is, big number 33. He's going to block Quentin Coriat. 1-on-1. See how he does a great job. Look at the leverage. See the leverage coming through? He gives that good little up and under and push and gets the stalemate that allows Buck some running room.
3rd and 5. Thompson and Turner both in. Comes the blitz. They pick it up. Bledsoe to Coates. Couldn't hold it. Nice coverage by Tate. Maybe too nice. There's a flag down. And Coates slow to get up.
Question is, did Ben Coates push off to get himself barely open?
Double foul, holding, number 71 offense, pass interference, number 49 defense, penalties offset, replay 3rd down.
Big break for the Colts on that one. Number 49, David Tate. Even if you grab his hips a little bit, it doesn't happen. Todd Rucci, the right part of your screen on a takedown. That'll get it done as well.
3rd down. Four-man rush. Bledsoe has to dump it out in the flat. Thompson swarmed over at the 32, and the Colts did their job that time. Jeff Herrod went out in the flat with him and made the tackle. Tony McCoy applying the pressure on Bledsoe. Keep in mind the Colts front line playing without Steve Entman, the terribly unfortunate young man who was out for the 3rd year in a row with an injury.
Going to have neck surgery tomorrow morning.
And it looks like the Patriots are going to let the first quarter clock expire without kicking it away. And that is the end of the first period. The Patriots on top of the Indianapolis Colts, 3-0. We showed you the soft cast on the thumb of Don Majkowski. Joe, why is that a problem for him, or is it?
Well, it's not really a problem. See, it stops the thumb from going all the way in here. But when you hold the football, you don't have to move your thumb all the way in, so it protects it. He just has to grip the football, if you can see, only this far. And the cast runs around here to protect it from being pulled backwards in case he throws it. So that's why the cast is not a problem for him, and that's why he's able to throw the ball quite effectively.
Pat O'Neill will kick it away. And Joel Brewer out of Oklahoma waits at his 23-yard line. Beautiful spiraling kick. Brewer from the 18. Got a block at the corner. And then pounded down at the 30. A return of 12 after a kick of 50 yards. The net 38. Great block. Devon McDonald just leveled his man.
Left part of your screen. Now watch what Devon McDonald does right here. He doesn't cut. He gets his head just as he gets his head on the inside part of the shoulder. Now look at it from the righty. There it is right there. Great anticipation of where the man that's chasing him is going to be. You don't go where he is. You go where he's going to be.
McDonald, backup linebacker. Got his lick in on that one. Action by Majkowski. Plenty of time. Down the middle, Sean Dawkins. Dawkins to the Patriot 44. And with Marshall Faulk, play action has got to be a great call.
Absolutely, Mike. And that's the respect for Marshall Faulk. Just his reputation sets this play up. I want to show you the space that is given by the linebackers. Watch the linebacker. The fake's coming in. Watch these linebackers. Dawkins is going to have all this room to be able to work. Look at the reaction of the linebackers. Look at the space that Dawkins has to make that play. There isn't a linebacker here.
It looked like a prevent defense. It was so wide open. Potts slithers his way down near the 40.
Just the kid's presence, Marshall Faulk's presence alone, makes you pay attention to where he is every moment. You have to respect the play action base.
Many times I saw him in college, Joe, when people would question whether he would be a great pro, I just laughed. I thought this kid was the lock of the century with what he did at San Diego State. I don't care who he was playing. The things that he showed us when we did our ESPN Thursday night games and had them every year was just remarkable. One game he had 40 carries for 299 yards against Brigham Young. He wasn't even breathing hard when the game was over.
Well, take a look at the way he runs the football as a pro. I mean, you look at his rushing chart, and you get an opportunity to see the different places he runs. He averages 4.4 to the right, only 3.7 up the middle, and 4.2 to the perimeters. That tells you that he likes to pound it, but when he hits that perimeter, he can tack on some yards, which jacks up his yards per carry.
The injured Colts player, center Kirk Loudermilk, who's an excellent run blocker, and he is limping off the field. And Eric Malum, a rookie second-round draft choice out of California, number 65, will come in to replace him. Malum 6'4", 285. But Loudermilk, you hate to lose a veteran in the middle of that line.
Kurt Loudermilk, number 63. He's set, and he just gets rolled up on it. Just sort of buckles underneath him.
2nd and 7 for the Colts from the Patriot 41. Falk on the toss. Near the 39-yard line. Tim Goad, who's an exceptional nose tackle on a very small defensive line, makes the stop. And, you know, Bill Parcells has always said, I like big people. Goad's the only big guy he has on that whole line.
Well, that's the area I think they really have to concentrate on. They're very small up front in the defensive line overall. That'll be where Bill concentrates next year's moves to add to his football team.
That's Mike Jones, the defensive end. On 3rd down, Majkowski to throw. Airs it out down the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Lamont Warren. Another rookie. He's out of Colorado. Got one hand on it. Couldn't hold it. Myron Guyton in coverage.
This is just a high ball. That's all it is. Majkowski's a little late down the middle, and therefore he has to fire it to get it in for the safety. That little pat cost him just a little bit. The ball comes in high and hot. He's lucky he didn't get it picked off.
So the Colts send in the punting team. And Stark will kick to Roy Brown. Stark's always been a good kicker, not only for distance, but for placement. Puts this one very high. Brown signals fair catch and will make it at the 12. So Ron Stark does his job, even though the kick is only 27 yards. Marshall Faulk, one of 2 young superstars tonight. Patriots take over at their own 13-yard line. Bledsoe has thrown 4 times, completed them all for 51 yards here in the first half. Fires again, complete. Out to the 32-yard line. Timpson with his 2nd catch of the game. Jason Belser with the tackle, but it's a gain of 20 yards.
Nice job by Michael Timpson coming back to the ball after he makes the turn. The hole is there. See him come back. He works back towards the ball. That enables defensive backs from not being able to cut in front. The worst you're going to get is a collision.
That's Bledsoe's 42nd pass of more than 20 yards this year, the most in the NFL. And that is Timpson, the man who is down. You don't have to wait till next Sunday. Be with us Thursday for an NFL special. 7:30, the NFL Tonight. Chris Berman, Tom Jackson, Chris Mortensen. They'll preview Sunday's big games. Then immediately following that, Joe Mark and I will be at the Metrodome for a big game in the black and blue. The Chicago Bears against the Minnesota Vikings. 7-0, believe it or not, Steve Walsh and the prolific Warren Moon facing each other in a game that will determine who is in first place in that division. The Bears, after the Vikings lost to Tampa Bay this afternoon, have 1 game up in the division.
And Steve Walsh is undefeated.
That's great for him.
I mean, well, the thing was, he won 3, sat down. He's come back now and won 4.
That's right.
Doing a terrific job
Timpson
engineering.
Timpson able to walk off on his own, and Crittenden, number 81, will replace him in the lineup. Bledsoe under pressure, throws complete, then the ball comes loose. Recovered by the Colts, now they say incomplete. Remember, to be complete, you have to, and there goes Kirk Loudermilk, to have possession, you have to have control of the ball and both feet down.
This is a nice throw that Bledsoe gets off. Good pressure by the Colts up the middle. He sidearms this one out. This one will come out a little bit sidearm. There's a good move by Thompson. Never has possession. Good call by the official.
2nd and 10. And he threw it over the wrong shoulder. Had him open. He had beaten Grant. And Bledsoe would like to have that one back.
He really would. And what caused this was the pressure by the Colts. They brought Harrod that time, made it a 5-man rush. And Drew had to move his feet a little bit. Didn't set him up. Couldn't make the good throw.
Michael Timpson, good news for New England fans. He's back on the field on 3rd and 10. Comes another blitz. Bledsoe over the middle, and Colts is crushed. David Tate, the first man to hit him, but boy, did he get some help. Jason Belcher was in there.
Mike, that is the most critical mistake a quarterback can make, trying to hit a crossing pattern on the opposite side of the field. Ben Coates is going out. He releases. Now he's going to go inside. Now he should get the ball there. But Bledsoe waits until Tate is in a hitting mode and just nails him. That ball was thrown too far in front of him.
O'Neal, the punt to Brewer. High and short. Brewer takes it at the 25. And got 12 yards out of it. There's a flag down on the play. We'll check the penalty. Fast-moving game. 11:31 to go in the half.
Post-possession foul. Holding on number 36 receiving team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Damon Watts guilty of the penalty. We'll be back in a moment. Spotlight, let's check in with Mark Malone.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. When I talked to Will earlier, he said one of the things that really concerned him was Slade's move, both to the outside and inside. So far, he's been able to handle Slade, although the Colts have only had the ball twice. Right here, first series, Slade almost gets outside. Wolford lucky he doesn't get called for the hold. Then Slade just doesn't come off the ball and make any move, and Wolford gobbles him up. And then watch this. Slade late on the snap count. Wolford there again to gobble him up. So far, Wolford owning this matchup. Mike?
All right, thank you, Mark. Wolford, an excellent pass blocker, always has been. And Slade, a down lineman in Virginia, one of those rush back. Majkowski, play action again on first down. Sideline complete to far. And he dances his way out for first down at the 29. Let's go back to Mark.
Yeah, Mike, how about these numbers? 2 possessions, 5 minutes for the Colts, 9 plays. They've thrown 4 passes, no pressures, no hurries, no sacks. Wolford doing a pretty good job, Mike.
And, Mark, I think that's a result of the play action. They've really crossed them up on the play calling, Joe.
It's because nobody wants to get beat by Marshall.
Can't blame them. There's Slade, 8.5 sacks this year, 3.5 last week. Second and short. Falk will get the first down. Or excuse me, that was a first down. He's out to the 34. Vincent Brown made the tackle.
Mike, Mark just showed us what Will was doing pass blocking. Here he is now run blocking. Comes off the ball real low against Aaron Jones. Always look at an offensive lineman. If they come out level and parallel, that means they're going to have a good base at impact. That's exactly what he did on that one.
Second and 5 for the Colts. Majkowski underneath to Dawkins. Dawkins to the 43-yard line. Sean Dawkins is playing much better than he did a year ago.
Interesting concept used by the New England Patriots. That time, they brought one of their corners and safeties on the blitz, but they dropped Tim Goad back into pass coverage. Now, Goats, number 72, they're nose tackle. Quarterbacks don't expect to see that, but Majkowski got the ball off quick enough.
Play action again on first down by Majkowski. Has this one tipped and out of bounds. Tipped at the line of scrimmage. Slade got a piece of it.
Great idea by Chris Slade to change up. Defensive linemen have got to figure out ways to create havoc. If you can't put pressure on the quarterback, rush just a little bit. Watch number 53. He starts to come. Now he stops. Rosie Potts doesn't go get him, but he manages to jump in the air. It's just good, smart defensive play.
2nd and 10. Falk on the draw. Slides through a very small opening against the midfield. There is a flag down, however. Slade tripped him up. He doesn't need much of a crease, does he? But this will come back on the hold.
Holding, number 79 offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
And you see the reaction of Joe Stasiak, who is now in center for Kirk Loudermilk, who suffered an injury earlier. We still don't have an injury report on Loudermilk, who went to the locker room about 5 minutes ago. And now we are told he's being x-rayed for a strained right knee. 2nd and 20, and Lamont Warren checks in. He's 21. Majkowski wants the screen to Potts. Tim Goad out there, and Goad made a great play. The nose tackle saw the screen, went out, got some help from Aaron Jones.
The defense did a great job of making Majkowski hold the ball a little bit longer than he wants to. Screens, to be successful, are real timing things. That time he had to hold the ball too long.
And this will go against New England.
Illegal chuck, number 53 defense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
That's a huge play because it was 2nd and 20. They gain nothing on the screen. You get a 5-yard penalty that has the automatic 1st down.
Would have been 3rd and 15, Mike. There's the chuck. Lamont Warren out. Slade's going out. Pass 5. You can't touch him. I mean, Chris Slade used to rushing the passer a lot. That time he's out in space and gets caught.
Big 1st down for the Colts. Potts. The big man with a hole. Potts. To the 9. Before that play, the longest run of the year for Roosevelt Potts was 12 yards. That one was 53.
And what makes it so interesting is they put Marshall Faulk right here in the slot. The defense is looking. He just takes it right up the field on the left side. Everybody's aware where Faulk is. But hey, look at the Rosie man bouncing off of people. He just said he wants to contribute in some way, has really accepted Marshall Faulk's presence very, very well.
1st and goal. Potts again. Hammers his way to the 5. Not as big as he was as a rookie. He lost some weight because he said he wanted to be a better pass receiver, and it made him a little quicker, but he still got enough weight to be devastating as a runner.
And it was interesting sitting with him in the locker room on Friday talking about his new role. Yeah, he said, I'm disappointed I'm not the man anymore, but it doesn't matter. We've got a great one in Marshall Faulk, and I'm going to contribute any way I can.
The Colts inside the 20, 2nd best in the NFL, and that goes back to Marshall Faulk and the ability to run the football in close. Faulk on the toss, tries to cut it back, no place to go, still got back to the line of scrimmage. Looked like he'd lose 4. David Bavaro made the tackle.
See, down here on the goal line, inside the 10-yard line, I'm not a big believer in pitching the ball to a tailback 7, 8, 9 yards deep. The defense is too close to the line of scrimmage. You can get too much pursuit from corners and linebackers.
3rd and goal from the 6. Patriots lead at 3-0. Faulk in a slot left. Bad snap. And Majkowski does the smart thing, just dives on it. Theismann, the center, out of the shotgun. A loss of 18.
That's a combination of a couple things. Stasiak's a guard, but he's also got goat on his nose. So we know he's got to make a block. He's more concerned with the pass blocking than he is with getting the ball back to Majkowski.
That either hit the inside of his thigh or it hit the towel that he has. And now Loudermilk will come in to snap for the field goal attempt for Dean Biasucci. It will be a 42-yarder. The club's leading all-time scorer. And he missed it wide right. So the bad snap from the shotgun cost them the chance at a touchdown. Then they missed the field goal. Stasiak talking on the sideline. Loudermilk maybe giving Stasiak some tips on that centering job that came up short. Butts will get the carry. Got maybe a yard. Stuffed again by the front wall and the linebackers of the Colts.
I think this is a critical series for the Colts, Mike. They've just really looked like the Colts of old by making a mistake when they were in scoring area. The question is, are they going to revert back to that old team that makes mistakes and worries about it, or are they going to be able to forget about it, come up with a good defensive stand that Vince Tobin has set up for them, and wind up getting the ball back to the offense?
The kind of things you have to do if you're going to be a playoff team. Draw play. Gash out to the 39-yard line. Quentin Coriat makes the tackle, move to the outside linebacker spot. The play selection tonight reverse what the average normally is for the Patriots, but that's what Bill Parcells' history says. I would much rather run the ball. It's what they did last week very successfully.
Again, you got to remember, they've got 4 outdoor, pretty bad weather games coming up. They're going to have to be able to run the ball.
3rd and 4. Underneath, Thompson makes the catch, gets it out to the 44. That'll be a first down. Leroy Thompson, an interesting story. When you come out of college and you're a superstar and you go into the pros, sometimes you can't be a superstar anymore. Leroy Thompson is one of those guys that's got to learn that role. He's got to be a role player.
He is having a tough time accepting it, but, you know, if somebody's going to get him to accept it, Bill Parcells is going to do it. You know, Parcells relayed to him, hey, look, I had Tony Galbraith in the same situation. He played 6 years where he might only played 2.
Bledsoe with a short set. The quick out, once again, complete to Michael Timpson. The young man out of Penn State having a fine year. Eugene Daniel made the tackle. 3 catches, 67 yards for Timpson. You would think with their numbers that the Patriots had great receivers. They're not there yet. They have been inconsistent, and that's the one thing that has driven Parcells crazy.
Well, I think, you know, Mike, the more they touch the football in games, the better they're going to be. If they don't touch it a lot in games, every drop is a big one. But if you catch like Michael coming in this game, Timpson had 54 catches.
On first down, Thompson will get a running call and picks up about 4.
So 7 for 10 for 87 yards. No throw ever really being in jeopardy, except maybe the one to Coach that he threw a little bit late over the middle. That's a pick and a half most of the time.
2nd and 6, and a fast-moving first half winding down. Only 3:25 to go, second quarter. Bledsoe under pressure. Shovels it forward, and Coach can't hold it, but I think they're going to whistle it dead. They do. It's a sack. Tony McCoy out of the University of Florida came through and got Drew Bledsoe.
That's the sign of a little bit of inexperience and a great play by Tony McCoy. Talk about a guy, watch number 9. He's just not going to quit. He's going to keep on working and working till he finally gets to Bledsoe. 2 guys block him. Now 1 guy blocks him, but he's not stopped. He just keeps on working. Now, Drew, just go down with it. Don't get crazy.
Now, the reason they blew it dead, even though he wasn't going down, is because a second player had a shot at him while he was being held by a first. They will always blow it dead when the quarterback is in imminent danger. 3rd and 3. Bledsoe changing the play. Flag down. Clock ran out. As a quarterback, you're between a rock and a hard place when you want to call an audible and there's only 3 seconds left on the play clock to start with.
Well, you know, it's a problem, and what really caused the problem is not anything in the huddle, but when you scramble around like that, the players don't come back to the huddle as much when the quarterback scrambles or as quickly.
And the Patriots haven't been penalized very much at all this year. Number 1 in the league. Alberts with pressure. Steps up and throws incomplete. Intended for Troy Brown on the crossing pattern.
ESPN 2, Trev Albert going there and putting the moves on. But on the other side, Bruce Armstrong doing an excellent job. Watch Bledsoe's backside. Here comes McCoy inside, but there's the pressure from the front side. But you'll notice that backside is awfully clean. That's a nice job by Bruce Armstrong on his left side.
O'Neal will have to punt to Brewer on 4th and long. And this has been a real defensive struggle. Nice kick. Brewer lets it go, and it bangs into the end zone. So the Colts will start from the 20 when we come back. 2:15 to go in the half. A 53-yard punt. At halftime, the fastest 3 minutes in television with Chris Berman, all the highlights. Dan Marino with one of the great fake plays you will ever see in your life. And then we'll be back to the RCA Dome for a first-half recap. Kirk Loudermilk is back in as the Colts center, number 63, the 10-year veteran out of Ohio State. Majkowski, 4 out of 7, 55 yards. To the Falk, to the Dawkins. Draw play, Falk. Room to run. Look at this. He just explodes. And if you ever see him get loose in the secondary, he's got a 5th gear too, and you'll never catch him.
We got a player down.
And we'll check on the injury when we come back. We've hit the 2-minute warning. 3-0 Pats. Will Wolford in the spotlight. Let's check in with Mark Malone.
Yeah, Mike, so far I'm surprised that the Colts haven't run more to the right, to the left side, with Efros Moss out and then Loudermilk. But in that last drive, Will Wolford wasn't all that effective as we take a look. First of all, on the screen play, Aaron Jones doesn't really rush, and then going down the line, he misses the block. Jones goes ahead and makes the tackle. And then right here, Wolford whiffs. Mike Jones in on the tackle for the loss. Hasn't been that great a drive for him. Mike?
All right, thanks, Mark. And Myron Guyton was the injured player. He's been replaced by Corwin Brown, a 2nd-year player out of Michigan. Guyton now being tended to on the sideline. 2 minutes to go in the half. The blitz on Majkowski. The screen to Falk. And Falk into New England territory at the 45. Aaron Jones chased him down from behind. Gain of 18.
That's the timing you want on a screen. Marshall Falk lined up in the backfield out to the left side. 1, 2, 3 quick steps by Majkowski. The line gets out front. Wolford does a nice job. Staznak does a nice job.
And as Mark Malone said, if you can't run to the left side, then throw a screen over there. Majkowski again with time. Throws complete down to the 37-yard line. Jackson, the veteran, picked up as a free agent this year after he was cut from the Giants. Majkowski still has the fire in the eyes.
Plenty of time. He's doing a nice job of orchestrating this. You can move receivers. You got plenty of time.
2nd and 2. First down at the 31-yard line. Dawkins makes another catch. Joe, it's funny watching Majkowski in practice. He has the arm strength back after he had lost it.
Well, Mike, you know, it's interesting. I talked to Don for a long time. He said after minicamp, he was so disappointed in the way he threw. He rededicated himself, started doing exercises. Now he has 5 basic exercises that he uses to strengthen his arm and shoulders, and he does them 4 days a week, and he says that has made the difference. Ted Marchibroda, on the other hand, made the comment and said, if it wasn't for the fact that they were short-handed at quarterback. He'd gotten rid of him last year. So, I mean, Majkowski has really worked himself into the position to be the starter.
All right, let's check in with Mark Malone. Mark, what do you have?
Yeah, Mike, just some numbers on that last drive as we watch Will Wolford make some crucial plays in this 2-minute drill. The last drive, the Colts ran 8 plays. They only ran 2 times to Wolford's side. He had 4 wins and 2 losses. Mike?
I guess you'll take 4-2 anytime from an offensive lineman.
Any quarterback would take an offensive lineman with 4 and 2 if they were run blocks.
Absolutely. Spot the ball just outside the 30. Colts had 1 scoring opportunity earlier, missed the field goal. They spread the field. Falk in the flat. Blockers in front. Slips the tackle and slithers down to the 24. Rod Smith made the stop.
Now there's a time where he might have been a little more prudent and tried to work out of bounds to save his quarterback a little bit more time.
2nd and 2, clock running. Down to 40 seconds. Majkowski wants it all. End zone. Dawkins. That's it. Of a pass from Majkowski and a whale of a shot, but Dawkins held on.
You know something? This is what Sean Dawkins needs to do. He needs to come down with big plays.
He got a tremendous confidence boost a week ago. Going into the last few seconds, Majkowski said, "I'm going to you." He made the catch for the winning touchdown, and that was the kind of psychological boost that Sean Dawkins needed. He has 4 catches for 63 yards and a touchdown in this one. Biasucci for the point after. And the Colts take the lead for the first time tonight, 7-3.
Marshall Faulk, again, his presence on the field allows Sean Dawkins to make the play. Watch the corner. As he goes back, he's going to keep an eye on this guy right here. As he presses out, he still hangs, allowing Dawkins to come on down inside. He's got an eye on Marshall. He never lays a hand on Sean Dawkins. See, right here, look at him. He's looking at him, not at him. He's got to see him going. Never really did anything to him at the line of scrimmage. Now he's got a free move on the safety. Majkowski pumps once, puts the ball high. Dawkins with excellent concentration, even when he gets smoked. Magic doing his thing. Good release. Go up and get the ball.
Corwin Brown with a huge hit, but Dawkins held on. And Don Majkowski with his 5th touchdown pass of the year.
Remember, we talked about it before when the Patriots got the ball after that miscue. Were the Colts going to be the old Colts or the new Colts? Looks like they got a new identity now. Oh, look, maybe he's got some blood. Maybe he's got some stitches. I love that. I love to see receivers with a little tiny piece of blood. After a hit like that, you got to have a little.
Well, you know what? They like to see quarterbacks the same way.
Well, I've been without teeth, so it happens. You know, and it's funny, Marshall Faulk's presence, just his presence, creates problems for defenses.
Well, he is so dangerous. He runs excellent pass patterns as a receiver, so they've been able to use him not only as a guy out of the backfield, but as a wideout. Thompson and Crittenden will go deep for Biasucci's kick with 34 seconds left in the half. Another good kickoff. Crittenden from the 1. Trying to get to the sideline and cut down at the 18-yard line. Watts with the tackle on special team. Here's what the young guns have done tonight. Bledsoe, 87 yards the first half. Falk certainly gets the nod in that comparison. 33 yards rushing, 47 yards receiving.
But, you know, Mike, There ought to be another category for Falcon. It ought to be attractions. How many times people are attracted to where I am? Because it's happened at least 3 times, whether it's been Potts running with the ball or else Dawkins making a reception.
Now with 29 seconds to go, what do you do if you're New England? All right, you throw it. Under pressure, Coates. And Big Ben diving for the sideline. Will they really got there? No. The knee was down before the ball went out of bounds. Eugene Daniel made the tackle and hung on for dear life.
Good try by Big Ben, though.
And Bill Parcells complaining about the call that the clock wasn't stopped.
Bill saying 4 seconds went off the clock. Coach comes across the middle again. Now, he knows exactly what has to happen. He's got to try and get out of bounds. McDaniel's not going to let him go. He throws the ball out there. I think his knee was down.
That's a great call by the official because the ball wasn't out when his knee touched.
But he's trying. I'll tell you, you got to give Eugene McDaniels. That's like holding on to a semi going down the highway. I think he's the best tight end in football. I mean, Bill Parcells thinks he's better than good. I personally think right now he is the best tight end in football. Blocking, receiving, running with the ball after you catch it. He's the total package.
Of course, that phrase from Bill Parcells, better than good, is one he's used on almost all the outstanding players he's had.
Especially his tight ends. He's really had some good ones. Of course, Mark Bavaro comes to mind immediately.
It will be a first down with 15 seconds to go in the half. And Bledsoe just airmails this one out of bounds with 10 seconds left. Well, they certainly haven't been conservative in their calls down here.
I think what you do here on this one, you have 1 of 2 choices. You either kneel down on it, let go in at halftime, or you line up and throw your jump pass or whatever name you want to give it. You line your 3 receivers up. You hope for a big play. You hope for an opportunity to maybe get in field goal range if there's enough time left. And it looks like this is the formation where we just see what kind of arm Drew has.
Trips right. 3-man rush. Bledsoe under pressure. Trev Alberts got in there along with Tony Bennett. Got to be a great feeling for him. And the clock stops with 4 seconds to go in the half. Now it restarts after the ball is marked ready for play. And that's the end of the first half with our score. The Colts 7, the Patriots 3. Now let's join Chris Berman for the accurate halftime report.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. As one of these 2 teams will get to 500 in the AFC East, but elsewhere in that division today, here in a wacky Week 13, the Jets were trying to get to first place for the first time this late in the season since 1986. If they could beat the Dolphins somewhere in the swamps of Jersey, which they usually do. They'd won 7 of the last 9 there. The Jets led at 24-6. But Marino to Ingram has got him 24-21. Marino to Ingram has him down to the 7. Marino, watch this. Think about throwing the ball down. No, he doesn't do it. He fakes it. He throws it to Ingram. 4 TDs from Marino to Ingram. Miami with a 2-game bowl. More in this in a moment. 28-24. Steelers. Par. Steelers, Raiders, reliving an old rivalry. Mike Tomczak, who needs Swan and Stallworth? He got Yancey Thigpen for a touchdown. Kevin Green looking like Joe Green. Gary Jones looking like L.C. Greenwood. Kevin Green looking like Joe Green. Steelers looking like big winners, 21-3. Oilers and the Browns. Browns trying to keep pace with Pittsburgh. Leroy Horde. Hold on to the ball. Bust your way through. Horde, 100-yard game. Tough sledding here for a touchdown against the Oilers. Cleveland wins it 34-10. Both they and Pittsburgh 9-3. At the Murph. Chuck Knox won there as a Ram coach in 75. Tries to do it in 94. But it's Flash. It's the commissioner. It's Darian Gordon. 75 yards. Think Sean Lundetto's going to get him? I don't think so. He can't go all the way. Lightning bolts win 31-17. They're 9-3. Chiefs, Seahawks, Kingdom. Joe Montana, sprained and twisted left ankle. 40,000 yards he's got on his career, but the Seahawks have the victory. Hard-hitting defense by Orlando Waters and Robert Blackman. Seahawks upset the Chiefs 10-9. Eagles, Falcons. Bad Moon back after a 1-game suspension. Atlanta defense back after they should have been suspended for 2 weeks. Chuck Smith, Randall trouble throwing. Chris Dolman with a sack. Jeff George to Terrence Mathis. 10 times on the day. Touchdown. The Falcons beat the Eagles 28-21. Bucs and the Vikes. Sam Weiss's team has not won since October 2nd. But we go to overtime after Minnesota scores and gets a 2-point conversion late. Brian Davis knocks into his teammate Eric Gulliford on a punt return. Sends up Michael Camo, who's dead. 23-yard field goal. Bucs win. Upset the Vikes, who have now lost 3 straight. 20-17 OT. Cards, Bears. Used to both work in Chicago. So did Buddy Ryan. His Cardinals are in Arizona. But Steve Walsh is 7-0 as a starter. To Jeff Graham, who crackers his way for 44 yards, setting up Kevin Butler's field goal. The Butler did it for Wannstedt. Overtime. Bears, first place in the NFC North, 1916. Giants, Skins. Hard rain gonna fall. Get that sod out of here, Henry. Dave Brown to Arthur Marshall. Fantastic catch, 34 yards. Next play, Brown, Chris Callaway. Giants do what they usually do. Beat the Skins, 21-19. Bengals, Bronx at Mile High. These are the last 2 teams to win a game all year in the NFL. But John Elway trying to get his team to 6-6. To Anthony Miller, zing, touchdown. Broncos, Wade, comb the hair, here at 500. Denver 15, Cincinnati 13.
This halftime report is presented by...
The only touchdown in the first half of our 7-3 game, Don Majkowski. The scoring strike to Sean Dawkins to put the Colts on top. We'll be back with the second half kickoff in a moment. (7-3) at halftime. Remember, the winner of this game goes to 6-6. That means they tie for second place in the AFC East and would be very much alive in the wild card hunt. Pat O'Neill to kick to Humphrey and Brewer. Humphrey from the 10. Room to run and takes it out to the 38-yard line. Let's check in with Mark Malone. Mark?
Yeah, Mike, it's cliche, but a lot of games are won down in the trenches, and Will Wolford taught the right side of the defense in New England Patriots a lesson or two in the first half. How about this? On the screen, lets Slade go, frustrating him, and then goes down and levels Harlan Barnett right there for the big play. And then on the crucial touchdown pass, he holds Slade here, gets a handful of jersey, but keeps him out of Majkowski's lap. And a play that went unnoticed, the bad snap in the shotgun. Look at this. Wolford grabs Mike Jones when he sees the ball's on the ground. Jones never gets to it. Wolford teaching these guys a lesson, Mike.
Markey's been doing it for 9 years, been to 2 Pro Bowls. Falk slips a tackle at the line of scrimmage to midfield. Ball comes loose. Dawkins after it. They're going to rule it's down. And the Colts may have gotten a break on this one.
I guess that, you know, Mike, I really think that is the only thing with backs that try for extra yardage. The ball becomes very susceptible at getting knocked out.
And Falk holding his right hand.
Does a really nice job. This is where he's going to be so effective in this league, running up inside. Good job by the line. Makes one person miss. Barnett does a nice job of getting a piece of him, but then he's obviously been on the ground. Watch his knees. They'll be on the ground before the ball comes out. Knee on the ground, ball coming out. Good call. It's been a very well officiated game at midfield, 1st and 10, Indianapolis. Majkowski to Potts, couldn't hold it. Let's go back to Mark Malone.
Yeah, Mike, just to wrap up some numbers on Wolford in the first half. 24 offensive plays for the Colts. His opponent only had 2 tackles. No pressures, no hurries, no sacks. And you saw him hold Slade a couple times. But more importantly, no penalties. Mike?
And Mark, this is very interesting because offensive linemen always say the only time we get noticed is when we hold or allow a sack.
You know what that means for the quarterback, Mike, all those statistics? No worry.
Absolutely. 2nd and 10. Falk and Potts are the backs. Majkowski overthrows Floyd Turner. Take a look at those first half stats. 86 passing yards for the Patriots. The Colts beat him in that department. They beat him in rushing yards, nearly 2-1. But look at the time of possession. The Patriots had it for most of the first half.
Well, the thing was is, when you get down there, you can't come away with just field goals. If you're going to keep time of possession, you've got to come away with bigger numbers than just 3s. And I think that was the problem with the New England Patriots.
3rd and 10. Lamont Warren, number 21, checks into the ball game. Majkowski said, I only had 10 guys. Play clock running down. It's at 5. Nice job by Majkowski just to get the play off and get 11 guys on the field. What a catch! There's a flag down in the secondary, but what a catch by Marshall Faulk, looking straight over the top of his helmet.
Don Majkowski ran out to Aaron Bailey and just said, listen, run inside, clear it out. Marshall's coming behind you.
And they didn't beat the play clock.
Number 80 on the offense did not come inside the numbers when reporting. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
So it's an illegal substitution.
But you know why that is significant? It's significant because that was a play that was designed for a big play. You wanted to isolate Marshall Faulk on the linebacker. This is Majkowski running over. There comes the substitution. He's got to be outside those numbers. He cannot come in late. That's the rule. I'm sorry, he's got to be inside the numbers. He's inside it now, but this is an isolation that they're trying to get, and the big play got away from him.
And that's to prevent the trick plays from the guys running on and off the bench and deceiving the defense. So Majkowski has to go in the flat to Faulk, and he didn't do him any favors that time because he looked out there once, then stared at him, and then threw it to him.
Yeah, if you're going to throw a screen, you have to throw it now. You can't give Vincent Brown a chance to read your movements and then react to the ball.
So they'll have to punt it away.
That series was sloppy at best by the Colts.
That's Troy Brown waiting in his 15. Stark with a chance to air one out. Brown from the 13 across the 20 and fights forward to about the 25-yard line. A return of 11 after a punt of 46. Derwin Gray makes the tackle on special teams. 3 Colts show. Earlier you mentioned the fact that you thought a certain series was very important for the Colts. I think it's very important now for the Patriots to at least establish something on offense.
You're right.
Bledsoe to Brisby, wrapped up in a hurry, and look at the Colts swarm to the football. Eugene Daniel made the first hit, then got help over there from Coriat.
I think that the Patriots went the first half, committed themselves to trying to run the ball and control it. Okay, they're behind 7-3. Now I think what they're going to do in the second half is come out and do whatever they have to win the football game. And I really believe that that means Drew Bledsoe is going to have to put it up.
2nd and 3. That was the first catch of the night for Brisby. Siragusa with the tackle.
Take a look at what Drew Bledsoe did the first half. He spread it around pretty good, but he didn't get a lot of results. You see, right under here, what he's done is he's come up with quite a few incompletions, and that means that he's not converting third downs. He's not continuing drives. That's what that pass chart tells me for Drew Bledsoe.
3rd and a yard here. Bucks only has 32 yards on the ground, and Bledsoe will throw on 3rd down. Has the first down out to the 44-yard line. Good throw. Brisby makes his 2nd catch. Buchanan and Harrod on the stop.
Boy, has he got a gun. I mean, he just sets. When he gets a chance to set and throw the football, it doesn't matter how low he carries it. That's not a real pleasurable thing for Ray Perkins to see, nor anybody who knows anything about quarterback. But he gets it up and loads it so quick and fires it with such velocity, he can get away with it.
Bledsoe to Butts. Threw it to him right in the middle of the line, and Siragusa wrapped him up as soon as he touched it, and then Harrod finished him off.
I'll guarantee you, Mike, that was a call that came in from the bench and said, listen, Drew, I want you to hit the check down. I want you to go to the check down. Don't worry about it outside. That's what Coach Parcells and Coach Perkins want him to do. Like any good quarterback, the coach says do it, go do it. Here's Coach Perkins.
I've known a couple quarterbacks in my time that didn't do exactly what they were asked to do.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
2nd and 8. fakes the draw. Bledsoe with a gun to Coates. Tackled by Belser, but not before he got to the 40, and a first down for New England, gain of 16. Coates comes into the ball game #1 among tight ends in the league.
And Drew Bledsoe never has to worry about his left side. Bruce Armstrong turned into a really solid left tackle on Tony Bennett. Bennett is a non-factor, can't even get his hands up. Now Coates does a good job of getting off the line. Nobody's really chucking him. I think the Colts, if they want to slow this guy down, they're going to have to do something at the line of scrimmage to him.
Impressive looking drive so far for the Patriots. Bledsoe with a pump fake. Intended for Brisby, and Brisby beautifully double covered downfield. Daniel and Belser just wouldn't let him get deep.
Mike, there are certain times in a game when an offensive coordinator takes a chance. That particular play was a chance. If the Colts were blitzing, they put a double move on to try and get a big play. If it doesn't happen, Drew is instructed, throw it someplace where no one can get it. That was something Ray Perkins wanted to try. It didn't work.
Ambrose and Alberts check in for the Colts on 2nd and 10. Draw play. Down to the 35-yard line goes Leroy Thompson. There's the first-round draft choice from the University of Washington 3 years ago. The #1 pick in the draft. He has torn up both knees. Now he's going to have disc surgery. If he could stay healthy, he will be a great player for this ball club. 3rd and 6. Bledsoe with time for Coates. To the 15, but there is a flag down on the play.
That time, Trev Albert gets taken down by Bruce Armstrong. Albert's with a little more quickness and speed from that right side. I mean, he's really assuming the role of a down line rushman. Comes hard around the corner and really causes Armstrong problems.
Holding, number 78 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Number 51, Trev Alberts, his quickness around the corner. He tries to take Armstrong hard and low. Armstrong just yanks him down and lays on top of him.
It was only the 9th holding call all year on New England. That's low in the league. Alberts had 29.5 career sacks at Nebraska. He was supposed to be out all year with that dislocated elbow, but he's back starting with this game. 3rd and 16. Colts come with a blitz. They pick it up, and Coates makes the catch. Drags Daniel with him lateral. Turner. And Turner gets within a couple of yards of the first down, which is going to bring up an interesting decision.
Well, you know, Bill Parcells, the old hook and ladder. What a great way to do it. And this is another designed play. Coach is going to go out. Again, totally untouched. He reads the blitz, no problem. They practice it all the time. Now he's looking, he's looking, he's looking. He pitches it out. Turner can't quite pick up the first down, but the Patriots are going for it.
4th and a long yard. Turner and Thompson, the backs. Bledsoe to throw against the blitz, and he got it to Coates. First down. Flag down in the secondary.
Holding, number 59 defense. Penalties declined. Result of the play is a first down.
That's Stephen Grant, who had Coates.
I'll tell you something. If he's holding him, he ought to get a pair of handcuffs to hold him a little tighter. Left part of your screen, Coates is coming in. Now, from day one, the New England Patriots have worked on nothing but blitzes. You are not going to surprise Drew Bledsoe.
And Bob Cratch, the former Giant, threw a great block on that blitz to protect his quarterback. Bledsoe hit as he throws it. It's picked off. Ray Buchanan. Look at this guy go. Buchanan with his 4th interception of the year. The guy they put on the corner because they haven't found anyone in 15 years to play that left side.
Mike, they should give defensive linemen assists for interception. This interception is caused by Tony McCoy grabbing Drew Bledsoe's foot and not being able to step forward. Number 61, McCoy, he's going to get on in and put pressure on Bledsoe. He's the left tackle. Now watch what he does. He grabs Bledsoe's foot. See how he pulls it back? That ball hangs in the air so Buchanan can make the play. That should be an assist to a defensive lineman.
Potts is the single setback. Falk is in the slot. Majkowski. And Dawkins leans to the 49. They'll mark it at the 48, about a yard shy of a first down.
Now right here, if you're the Colts, Mike, if you've got a trick play, if you've got a big play, this is where you try it. This is where you set it up. You're in midfield. This is where Ted Marchibroda wants to look at that little section on his chart that says, go for the throat.
Move Kerry Cash to tight end. In New England territory, dives to the 45. Which you always had that gambling kind of instinct. You wanted to go for the big play.
Well, I think you've got them reeling a little bit. You know, you've made a big turnover. You've got the defense a little bit reeling. It's only 2nd and 1. You give it a shot. I mean, I would say Drew Bledsoe, that wasn't his fault. The interception wasn't his fault. It was a great play by Tony McCoy.
It was his 21st interception of the season. That's the most in the NFL, but when you throw the most, you're going to have those kind of numbers too. Falk behind Potts. Excellent job by Chris Slade. Played off the block, still made the tackle. Bill Parcells said he had 9 sacks last year and he had no idea what he was doing. Wait till he finds out.
Both he and Willie McGinnis are physical specimens. McGinnis at 6'5", 250. Slade at 6'4", only 235. But boy, will they become, they could become like Ricky Jackson and Pat Swilling. I mean, that's the talk around New England.
2nd and 11. Comes the blitz. Majkowski steps up and unloads for Falk, and it's out of bounds. Marshall Falk that time covered by Myron Guyton, the safety. I don't know that he can't outrun all the corners in this league either.
I can outrun pretty much everybody if a quarterback has that much time. Majkowski did a real nice job of avoiding the rush, stepping up, and then unloading the ball so he doesn't wind up taking a big sack.
And Majkowski saying, I can't understand what you're saying on a helmet radio.
Hurry up. Tell me what's going on. I only have 15 seconds to call the play. Make one up.
That's right. Jim Harbaugh signaling it into him. Clock is at 6.
They're going to have to burn a timeout here. I don't believe they're going to have a shot at getting it off.
Looks like they just beat it. Another blitz, and Majkowski hit from the blind side. Loose football. The Patriots will have it outside the 20 as Aaron Jones picks up the fumble. And they'd have been a lot better off taking the timeout.
You're exactly right. That's what happens when you rush to the line of scrimmage. You don't give your offensive lineman a chance to identify the defense. Everything is hurried up, and you wind up getting your clock cleaned. Left part of your screen, Wolford, here comes. They just bring in too many people. They're just bringing too many people. They bring the corner off. Maurice Hurst levels them.
And Aaron Jones, the free agent from Pittsburgh, does the damage after the sack on Majkowski. 3rd quarter, and Hurst celebrating that sack and the wicked hit on Majkowski. And New England in great shape. 1st and 10 at the 18. Bledsoe with the screen. Thompson decked at the 20. What a play by Corrier. And Joe, that's what they wanted from him when they moved him outside from the middle.
Make big plays, but I'll tell you something. Maurice Hurst makes a big play. The bench caused this sack. Maurice Hurst is the corner. He's going to come, but Majkowski's hurrying up so much, he doesn't see the blitz And so he can't read it. The offensive line can't pick it up. And to me, that sack has got to be charged against the bench for not giving their quarterback enough time to look at the defense.
2nd and 11. Dash in motion. Bledsoe pumps and throws it out of bounds. Intended for Brisby, but Daniel was all over him, and Siragusa came in and got Bledsoe. Siragusa's had a couple of impact plays tonight.
He's a big, tough guy to try and move around. You know, Tony sits there at 315 in the middle. You double team him, going to have to take a pretty good push to move him.
Here's the play selection. First half, second half, only 2 rushes. All of the third quarter. 3rd and 11. Comes the blitz. They pick it up, and Bledsoe throws incomplete. It wasn't anywhere near Ray Crittenden. Looked like he tried to take something off and just guided it.
Well, you know what happens? He was uncertain with that one, Mike. What happens when you're uncertain, you usually wind up on your back foot. You know, if you can picture the golf swing, you've got to get your weight going forward to control the ball. That time he was back on his back foot. You got no clue where it's going.
You know I can't picture the golf swing. This is Matt Barr to try to make it a 1-point game. He's hit from 22. This is from 37. And just sneaked it past the right upright. 5:25 to go third quarter. We have a 1-point game in Indianapolis. 6 Colts with 5:25 to go third quarter. Patriots have just cut the lead to 1 on a second Matt Barr field goal. There's Bill Tobin, Vice President and Director of Football Operations for the Colts. And he came in, made changes on the coaching staff, changes in personnel. Very successful with the Chicago Bears during his tenure there. Line drive kick, Humphrey, a yard deep, will bring it out. Got a couple of blocks, and whacked down as he got to the 27-yard line. Big tackle by Rod Smith, the backup corner, and we'll be back in a moment.
Let me a story that when Bill Tobin took over, their first road trip, the guys were dressed in various types of clothing, and Bill Tobin didn't think they were very professional, so he got on the loudspeaker on the plane and announced to the team that they would dress like professionals. They would wear sport coats and slacks for the rest of the trip. Siragusa said that's when he knew this team started to get some discipline.
And they're playing like pros right now, up 7-6, a chance to go to 500 and get back in the playoff chase. Potts the single setback. Hammered as he gets a couple, shakes another tackle, dives forward. Ray Agnew made the tackle, and Willie McGinnis also in there, number 55, the rookie out of Southern Cal. McGinnis, of course, a prize on draft day. He said it's a lot more mental work at this level. I'm just trying to recognize things better. Bill Parcells said he didn't have a spot at Southern Cal. They just told him, go over here and make a play. Do this. 2nd and 8. Knocked down. Intended for Dawkins, and it looked like Bavaro got a hand on it.
That's a nice job by that linebacking core of the New England Patriots getting back into the zones. They just figure if Marshall Faulk's not going to be in the backfield, let's drop back. They drop back, get good reads, good depth, and there you see Bavaro knock the ball away. I think that the Colts can no longer use Marshall Faulk as a decoy. You got to have your big gun shooting, and if he doesn't shoot, the Colts won't win.
3rd and 8, Lamont Warren checks into the lineup. 4-man rush. Majkowski with a pump fake and then throws behind Dawkins. Or excuse me, Mark Jackson couldn't hold it. So a good defensive stand by the Patriots, and the Colts will have to punt it away, clinging to a 1-point lead.
If I'm the Colts right now, you have 4 minutes and 31 seconds to go in the third quarter. Ted Marchibroda's got to think, okay, from now on, Marshall Faulk has got to touch the football 75% of our offensive plays for the rest of this game. I mean, that's the way I got to look at it.
Brown waits at his own 25 for Ron Stark. 4-time Pro Bowl punter. Nice kick. Brown with room, though, fumbles the ball and has to dive forward to the 30 to cover it. There is a flag down on the play. He will be credited with a 5-yard return after a punt of 46. Now we'll check the penalty. And this will go against New England.
Holding number 22 on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
4:22 to go third quarter. We'll be back in a minute. Done Will Walford in our Sunday night spotlight. Let's check in with Mark Malone.
Well, Mike, we said at halftime that we were a little surprised that the Colts weren't running more behind Wolford. Well, they must have made the adjustment because last couple drives they've made that change. How about this? The inside drive by block on Mike Jones, 13 yards. Then again on the next play, inside drive again on Jones and wads him up for another gain. And then they go the other way. He hooks Mike Jones, and look at this. He grabs those saddle horns inside on the shoulder pads and has handled them very, very well so far, Mike.
And, Mark, that's why he was one of such a great prize in the free agent market. Patriots have to start from their own 15 after the penalty. Marion Butts will lose a yard. Let's go back to Mark Malone.
Yeah, Mike, second half numbers so far. The Colts have 13 plays. They've run the ball only 6 times. 3 of those runs have been behind Wolford. Only 1 opponent tackle so far.
He gets it done.
A little nervous, too. See him rock. Certain guys have looked. I used to pat my right foot. I used to tap it all the time. Will Wolford rock back and forth. Ron McDole, the guy I played with, used to chew a towel. Everybody had their own little thing on the bench.
Draw play. Thompson cuts it outside. Got by Buchanan and has a first down.
Leroy Thompson does a nice job of setting up his offensive lineman. It's a delayed draw. Comes inside, hesitates enough. There's the good hesitation. Now he dips the shoulder, manages to avoid Buchanan's tackle, winds up going out of bounds about a yard short.
They do mark him short. It will be 3rd and 1. Bill Parcells says he will do anything on Sunday to win a ball game for you. Play action. Caught at the sideline by Coates. What a grab. Excellent coverage by Belzer, but a tremendous throw by Bledsoe.
Drew Bledsoe was going to Ben Coates all the way. Play action fake. Again, they're just letting Coates run free off the line. He's going through traffic. He's running through people. This ball is just rocketed in. I mean, Jason Belzer had no chance. This is a jet that happens to land in Coates' hands.
Great concentration for the 6'5", 245-pound tight end. Play action by Bledsoe. Coates. He's scary when he's free in the secondary, down to the 45.
I hate to beat a dead horse into the ground, Mike, but if they don't, see, Coates is doing them a favor. He's taking himself out of the game. They have got to, they meaning the Colts, got to slow him off the line.
Coates on a pace to break Todd Christensen's tight end reception record of 95 and Kellen Winslow's record of 1,290 yards. He is on a pace to break both of them. John Burke checks in as the tight end now as Coates gets a breather on one play. But driving forward just back to the line of scrimmage. Good play by Stephen Grant and Freddie Joe Nunn over at the left defensive end. Coates getting a little bit of a breather. Turner and Thompson are the backs behind Bledsoe. Here's the blitz. Bledsoe unloads. Loose ball. Completed pass and down. Timpson makes the catch And the Colts and the crowd really upset about it.
There was a case again, Mike, where the Colts decide to blitz. Watch Coriat come. Coriat comes basically untouched. Herod comes untouched. Timpson does a nice job. And the ball comes out as he hits the ground. I think that's a good call by the official.
It's another one. 3rd and 5 from the 40. Bledsoe with time. Brisby to the 15-yard line. Taken out by Belser. Gain of 27 yards.
Eugene McDaniels going for the gold. He sets. Brisby makes his turn. Daniels comes and tries to make a play. Didn't want to go through him. He wanted to go around him to try and make a play on the ball. This is where you just don't estimate the power that Bledsoe has. That is a bullet. That thing went so fast it went out of the picture for a second.
Patriots threatening, down by only a point. Turner, the up back for Potts. Marion butts to about the 11-yard line. Tony McCoy in on the stop. And Bledsoe has just added another record to his collection. The single-season all-time passing record, 3,470 yards set for this second-year man. And that's only in the 12th game of the season. That's going to be the end of the third quarter here in Indianapolis. Both teams fighting to get to 6-6, get back in the playoff chase, and tie for second in the AFC East. End of the third quarter, Colts 7, Patriots 6. We talked earlier about Marshall Faulk's indirect impact, how he influences the defense. How about a more direct impact?
Yeah, well, there hasn't been any direct impact, Mike. That's the problem. He's touched the ball 3 times. He had a 13-yard run. He's caught one for -5 and run another one for -2. So 2 of the 3 times he's touched the football, they've been for losses. Once he gets back on the field, is going to have to get his hands on the ball.
Right now, it's up to the Colts defense to make a stand. Bledsoe just throws this one away. Closest to it was Brisby, but he was well covered. And Bledsoe made the good decision. Talked about the young guns at the beginning of the night. Bledsoe, 215-yard passing. Faulk has been held under 100 in total yardage. And he's one of the league leaders in that department. 3rd and 8. Throws underneath to Coates. Coates brought down at the 8-yard line. Short of the first down, and it'll bring up a field goal situation.
A couple things happened on that series and that play right there. The Colts came up big to stop the Patriots from continuing to get a first down and getting in the end zone. But the Patriots were patient and smart. They decided instead of forcing it, Bledsoe came underneath. That's something that Ray Perkins told me about Drew Bledsoe. He said that the best thing that he's doing right now is he's taking the underneath guys when the defense wants him to.
Matt Barr going for the trifecta from 25. He's now hit from 25, 22, and 37, and has put the New England Patriots back in the lead, 9-7 over the Colts. Patriots have regained the lead with 14-13 to go in the game, 9-7. Mike Patrick, Joe Theismann, Mark Malone with you from the RCA Dome in Indianapolis. Pat O'Neill set to kick it away to Humphrey and Brewer. Good kick by O'Neill. Humphrey 2 yards deep and can't control it, and will keep it down in the end zone. So they'll start from the 20. They go 7-5. The Bears are 8-4 with a 1-game lead in the NFC Central. Slade waiting for him, and he'll only get a couple. The Patriots talked yesterday about keeping an eye on Marshall Faulk. You have to be after him every play, especially in the fourth quarter. That's when he becomes so dangerous.
That's what Aaron Jones told us, you know, one of their defensive linemen. They realize that he has the potential to break big plays. There he is, 12 plays in the second half. He's only touched the ball 4 times, 3 of them on rushes. He needs the ball more than a third of the time.
He goes out as a flanker on 2nd and 7. Majkowski throws it over the bench. Faulk broke inside, and I think Magic just thought it was a better idea to get rid of it. Faulk is a bigger part of the Colts offense than any superstar in this league is for his team. 41.8% of the offense comes from Faulk, either rushing or receiving.
A guy up there we're going to see later on this year, Chris Warren out in Seattle, just gets no credit, but he's 40% of that Seahawk offense.
Huge play here, 3rd and 7. Majkowski out of the shotgun over the middle. Turner. Room to run to midfield. Floyd Turner in 1991 caught 927 yards worth of balls in New Orleans. That was his best year. In 92, he suffered a broken leg, and from that romp, it looks like he is completely healthy.
Crossing from the right part of your screen, he goes underneath, ducks down under the nickel back, and manages to head for the sidelines. Marshall Faulk trying to get up the field to help him out.
And the Colts are the 2nd best team in the NFL on 3rd and long. Faulk behind Potts. Flag is down, so is Marshall Faulk. Just got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's thrown in the area where there's usually a holding call. The toss has not worked tonight.
You got to give a lot of credit to that New England defense. They're not trying to penetrate, they're just flowing.
Holding, number 79 offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Joe Stasiak, the right guard. Tonight he'd just like to forget.
Al Groh, defensive coordinator for the New England Patriots, came over from the Giants with Coach Parcells. He said that, he told me earlier, he said, hey, you know, we played against Barry Sanders earlier this year. And that's not the old chicken wing. That's just letting him know that Marshall Faulk has the ability to make plays. They told me that playing against Barry Sanders helped his team understand how great a Marshall Faulk can be.
Faulk slips out of the backfield. Majkowski, who can still run it, got a block from Faulk and gets out of bounds at midfield. Marshall Faulk put Myron Guyton on his fanny.
Marshall sitting back there. Now all of a sudden he checks out. He says, give me the ball. Well, if you're not going to give it to me, I'll help you out. Marion Guyton comes up. Faulk does a nice job, just creates a little screen. Magic does the smart thing, runs out of bounds.
Marshall Faulk says he wants to be the complete back. I think he's already achieved 2nd and 10. Majkowski with time underneath to Turner. Turner cuts it back down to the 36, first down. 2 big catches here in the fourth quarter by Floyd Turner, both late crossing patterns.
Well, what happens is he allows the linebackers to drop. This time Marshall Faulk clears underneath from the left side, allows Turner to come back on the right. You'll see him go to the left part of your screen. Now coming back the other way, out of the other side, is Turner, who makes the play. Majkowski does a good job. Now Floyd does an excellent job of knowing where he has to go to get the first down.
Majkowski's been very effective. 13 out of 22, 164 yards. Faulk on the draw had no chance that time. The Patriots defensed it beautifully. Aaron Jones.
Jones taking an outside pursuit. Number 97. He's going to blow by Eric Malum, the guard. Falk's going to meet right there. Jones does a good job. There's the pass rush. Big bull rush. Just happens to run right into Marshall Faulk.
And Cecil Gray, the tackle, shaken up on the play. Gray is in there for Zafros Moss at the right tackle spot. And now Gray, the journeyman lineman who was replacing him, only started 5 games in his career, is out. That will bring in Jason Matthews, a rookie, to play that right tackle spot. How much experience has Jason Matthews had? Well, he's been on the inactive list the last 5 weeks. Has a reputation as a good pass blocker. And Cecil Gray very uncomfortable coming out of there. Majkowski with a chance to visit the sidelines on 2nd and 15. We asked Aaron Jones about, with a Marshall Faulk in there, do you have to slow up on your pass rush? And he said, absolutely. You can't just go flying after the quarterback because they'll run draws on you all day. They tried it there, and he was in the right place.
Especially with backs that have niftiness. You know, not only are they nifty, but this one can accelerate on top of it.
2nd and 15. Majkowski with time. Completes it out in the flat to Dawkins. Taken out of bounds by Rod Smith. Out of Notre Dame, a gain of 9.
This is one of those plays, Mike, where you circle it. If you're charting it at home, you circle this 3rd down and you say, key 3rd down for the Patriots because they're just out of field goal range. But key 3rd down for the Colts. If we can convert it, we can get inside. I think you keep throwing the football. I think you just keep on throwing the football. You make the plays you have to make.
3rd and 6. Comes the blitz. They pick it up, and the pass is behind Turner. A flag is down. There may have been a hold in the secondary.
But I think they're going to call it off because it was tipped at the line of scrimmage. The ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Therefore, this flag will not count.
Well, a hold would. Interference wouldn't.
There is no defensive pass interference as the ball was tipped. Brings up 4th down.
Number 97, the left side of your screen, Aaron Jones, comes in the middle, gets right in Majkowski's way, manages to just catch a piece of the ball.
And here comes Dean Biasucci to try a 50-yard field goal that would match his long of the season. In practice, he was hitting them from 60, and 17 times he has kicked a field goal over 50 yards, the 4th best in NFL history. This would put the Colts back by 1, and now the Patriots use a timeout. Well, you don't think Bill Parcells is steamed about that one?
You know, he's not real thrilled about what's going on simply because he realizes in a game like this, where it's so close, 9-7, you're going to need every timeout when you get down into the 2 minutes. And he doesn't want to waste one with 10 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
Of course, not only do we have a game on Thursday, but next Sunday, we invite you to join us for game day, as always.
Sudden, they sent him home with a loss.
What a play.
The reason why that timeout was called because the Pats only had 10 guys on the field.
Another reason you could light your cigar on Bill Parcells' forehead right now. Biasucci to give his club the lead. 10:27 to go in the game. Would have been good from 60. Dean Biasucci redeems himself for an earlier miss. The Colts are back in front. Broda said this was the most critical game they had played since they had been with these franchises. Of course, for Marcia Broda, his 2nd tour of duty. The winner goes to 6-6.
You know something, Mike? If the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers were playing in a game like this, everybody'd say, oh, man, what a great game. 2 guys of equal talent really going at it. It's the Patriots And the Colts, everybody says, oh, geez, it's just 10-9. I think this game is as good a football game as you see from anybody in the league.
We've seen a lot from both ball clubs. Thompson and Crittenden deep for Biasucci's kick. Crittenden can't field it. Gets into the end zone, and he'll down it there. Why is this game so important? These are two AFC East teams. The winner will go to 6-6, tie the Jets and Buffalo for second place. Maybe more importantly, they will go to 3-2 in the division if Indianapolis wins. New England, desperate for a win in the division, they would go to 1-4. Of course, that's one of the tiebreakers for playoff spot. The crowd comes alive for the defense. Thompson gets out to the 24-yard line, covered by Coriat at that point.
A little something to put in your what-if notes. The Colts have given up 110 points in the fourth quarter, the most in the NFL.
Butt's more of a spectator now, as they may need extra receivers, and Thompson has that role as well as a runner. 2nd and 6. Thompson with another carry. Stacked up at the 25, a gain of only a yard.
Mike, this is a 3rd down where Drew Bledsoe has to be careful. He doesn't have to convert it. There's plenty of time, but he's got to be careful where he throws it. We talked about Stephen Grant before, number 59. This time he takes on Big Ben, slides outside, and finishes off the ball carrier. Boy, he's done an excellent job at that left outside linebacker position.
Play of the game so far, 3rd and 4 as we approach 9 minutes. Well, quarterbacks, Joe, as you well know, always have a favorite receiver, and it's obvious when Bledsoe's in trouble, that's the guy he wants.
He's found the guy he wants, but you can't do it without protection. Bruce Armstrong on the left side does a terrific job on Tony Bennett. And again, Coach, I don't want to say it any more times, but nobody's on him on the line. And now he just keeps on running. And Watts just can't stay with him. He's physically too big for him.
9 catches, 100 yards for Coach, making 10 catches. Dropped immediately by Harrod, the middle linebacker that time. Well, Joe, you're right. You can't allow a tight end to run free like that.
And if a guy's got 10 catches in the game and he comes off the line totally untouched, you've got to be able to me, put a linebacker over, make him take at least one false step.
Not a bad second half. 8 minutes to go. 2nd and 6. Pass. This time they go back to Brisby, and Brisby has it at the Colts 42.
They have got to do something to disrupt Drew Bledsoe. Right now he's approaching the zone because everything he's throwing is crisp, it's on rhythm, and it's on timing. They've got to do something now to try and take him out of his rhythm.
This Bledsoe's only 22, but his arm's already 35. In one game he had 45 out of 70.
I think Vince has got to go after him with something.
Draw to Thompson. And Thompson knocked down as he got about 2. Siragusa makes the tackle. It will bring up a 2nd and 8 on this time-consuming drive so far. Siragusa checks out in the passing situation. Thompson out in the pattern, makes the catch. They sent back both he and Turner out. He'll be stopped a couple of yards shy of the first down by Corian.
Mike, do you notice the rhythm that Drew Bledsoe is getting in and out of the huddle with? Bill Parcells told us last night he'll constantly talk into the microphone in Drew's helmet and tell him, keep pressing, keep pressing. That means keep the rhythm. You dictate to the defense. Don't let them dictate to you the tempo.
Confusion on the Colts defense, and now Alberts hustling off the field, 3rd and 3. Bledsoe under pressure, unloads, Coach, what a catch! Holy cow, what a catch! Harrod had his hands on it, and great concentration by Coach. He's putting on a show in the second half.
Not only that, he makes a crucial catch for a first down. That's the amazing thing about it. The Colts are confused, and they confuse Bledsoe, but he goes back to Old Faithful, and he fires the ball. Really shouldn't have. Now Harrod's got him. It goes right through his hands. Look at the concentration.
Bledsoe, 25 out of 35, 260 yards. Bucks hammers his way for about 5. They're already in field goal range for Matt Barr. And time becoming a big factor. Parcells gives him an attaboy.
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. I guarantee you that's what he said.
The veteran Barr, who has already hit 3 and provided the only points tonight for New England. Bucks dives forward across the 25 to about the 24, and Harrod, who has had some busy night, makes another tackle. And is slow getting up. At this point in the game, if you're a middle linebacker, you're whipped.
This has been a slugfest. And they've pounded up the middle with Marion Butts, and then Harrod's out there pounding against Coach.
3rd and 4. Frisbee goes left, Simpson right. And Bledsoe will use the timeout. There were still 9 seconds to go on the play clock, but he didn't like the defense he saw. 4:09 to go. The Patriots down by 1, but deep in Indianapolis territory, facing a 3rd and 3. Bledsoe with 3 wide receivers. Thompson, the single back. Loose ball. A bad exchange, and there's a flag down on the play as well.
Well, this is going to be a real interesting call to see if the ball was snapped or if the Colts jumped off sides.
It looked like the snap came early.
There is no foul. There was continuous movement of the snap, which is legal.
That's exactly what it was. There wasn't any movement. What happened is the center snapped the ball inadvertently to the quarterback. He starts to go. See how he starts to go? Now he brings it up. That's the center. What happened was he anticipated Drew wanting the ball. Wound up giving it to him late.
This will be a 43-yard field goal attempt for Barr. Hit the upright and went through. Matt Barr is 4 for 4. The bank shot from 43. Out of 4 in big games, you'd be happy too. Matt Barr has given his club the lead, 12-10. Let's go to Mark Malone.
Yeah, Mike, it's really interesting how the old veteran Will Wolford has been able to succeed tonight. Of course, he had the 2 rotator cuff surgeries and hasn't been able to use his hands. Watch this. He catches Slade there. Should have got the holding call. He told me it was important that he use his hands. It really hasn't happened here. He misses Slade again because he can't get his hands into Slade first. And again, the 3rd time. Gets around him again. He should have been called for holding. And in this critical drive, it'll be interesting to see whether or not Slade gets his number. Mike?
All right, Mark. kickoff return. Not this time, to the 22-yard line, brought down by Vernon Lewis. Let's go back to Mark.
Yeah, Mike, so far going into this final drive, the Colts have run 45 total plays. 8 plays behind Wolford for 57 yards. The opponent, no hurries, no pressures, no sacks, and more importantly, no penalties. But this is a crucial drive, Mike.
And no problem.
This is fun. This is what you want if you're Don Majkowski. You only need to get to inside the 30-yard line to have a shot at a winning field goal. That's what you're thinking right now. You're thinking 3.
They go to the shotgun. Draw to Falk. Falk, look at him move the pile. Picks up about 4. And you can run plays like that when you have 3:43 to go in the game.
Well, if you'll remember, they opened the series before the end of the half in the same way.
And here the young gun comparison again. Bledsoe with 260 yards. Falk just hitting the 90 mark. Majkowski to Turner. And Turner fights for yards up to the 37. Terry Ray hit him twice. There's a flag down in the secondary. Terry Ray never quit on that. And we'll get a face mask on top of the play.
5-yard face mask, number 53 on the defense. Penalized 5 yards into the run, first down.
That's Chris Slade.
Defensively, the Patriots have not been able to put pressure without bringing somebody. They are now in a situation like the Colts where they've got to change up and disrupt Magic's rhythm.
Falk is the back with Majkowski. Chased out of the pocket. On the run, Jackson dropped the ball. Ricky Reynolds was right there, but a perfect throw, and the veteran couldn't hold it.
Good job by the offensive line, giving Majkowski time. Now he slides outside, makes the throw. Mark Jackson trying to run with it before he caught it. That's all that was.
Stops the clock with 3:14 to go. It's 2nd and 10. And Falk goes to the slot on the right side. Majkowski looks that way, instead throws underneath, complete to the 45 to Dawkins.
That was the blitz. New England came with multiple backers and some defensive backs. I wouldn't be surprised if they come back with it again. Make them throw the break off.
3rd and 6. Here they come. Majkowski in trouble. Lateral to Falk, and it's intercepted. Picked off. Marlon Bennett intercepted the lateral.
Great defensive call by Al Groh. What he does is he repeats blitzes back to back. And that caused a problem for Majkowski. Didn't get to him the first time, but got to him the second time. I'm going to show you. Here comes the pressure. You're running 4 guys from this side. You've got 1, 2, 3 to block it. You can't block it over there. You've got too many people coming. Therefore, what amounts to Aaron Jones running free. Now Magic just sees out of the corner of his eye Marshall Falk. That's just trying to make too much out of nothing. Here's the reverse angle. He's running and now winds up in nothing but trouble.
Barnett with a huge play, and the Colts have to take a timeout to get their defense set. And that hurts because they're going to need them all. They have 2 left.
You know something, Mike? In most instances, I'd agree with you. But after you've been through a turnover like that, a bizarre turnover, not a normal one, a bizarre, it gives you a chance to regroup a little bit defensively, set something up, set the tone of what the defense has to accomplish, and then go back on the field. I think this was an instance where a timeout was used perfectly by the Colts. Now they have to execute with it.
Ball is spotted near the 28-yard line. They have 2 timeouts left, and of course the timeout that coincides with the 2-minute warning. So if their defense can hold, they should get the ball back again.
Still remember you got that, what, 2 minutes?
Absolutely. Butts the deep man in the eye. No surprise he'll get the call. And the Colts wait a few seconds and then take that timeout. Barr warming up that 4-for-4 leg again. The owner of the New England Patriots, Bob Kraft, we had a chance to visit with him last night. He is so proud of the fact that he has the club and was able to keep it in New England. And they are certainly the talk of the town, aren't they?
They're the most popular team in New England. I mean, the Sox, the Red Sox struggled a bit. Of course, hockey, the Bruins aren't skating. The Celtics are somewhat in a rebuilding period. And he's got the hottest team in town, like you said.
And he made a smart move when he went out and got that man. Of course, he got him from the previous administration.
Through inheritance.
Yes.
A lot of times inheritance can be very good, and in his case, I think it was excellent. Great call by Al Groh. I still go back. You know, you got to disrupt rhythms. And by coming with those blitzes back to back, he forced Magic to do something, run around, lose sight of where he was.
Colts with one timeout left. Thompson is now the deep man in the eye. And he'll get the carry. Wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, and Siragusa makes yet another tackle. And the Colts will use their last timeout.
Now, that one I don't agree with. I'll tell you why. In 28 seconds, you were going to get help from the 2-minute warning anyway. So you'd be in exactly this same situation with one timeout left. What's going to happen is you're going to need your timeout as you move the ball down and get into the other team's area inside the 20. That gives you a chance to run a quick trap. Now, basically, the Colts don't have an opportunity to utilize any type of a running play with Marshall Faulk as an effective play in their 2-minute drill.
Thursday night, of course, our NFL.
Geez, he's not very good. Geez, all he does is win. I like what he's done. I like his competitive fire.
3rd and 8. The game could ride on this one. Bledsoe to throw. Counts. First down to the 15-yard line. That just set a new club record. 12 receptions on the night for Big Ben.
They run the play action fake. No Chuck off the line. He's running scot-free in the secondary. You're asking Jeff Harrod to cover Ben Coates with a head of steam. You're asking too much.
We've hit the 2-minute warning. The Patriots on top of the Colts by a deuce. This game may have doomed the Colts. Stasiak's bad snap on the field goal attempt, and Majkowski's attempt may be to do too much on the play where his lateral was intercepted. And now all the Patriots have to do is kill the clock because the Colts can't stop it.
I still don't think that Ted Marchibroda can look at his football team like he has in the past years. This team is a competitive team. It boils down when you're in a close game. A play here, a play there makes a difference. This one happened to go against him. And that guy is just unbelievable.
A new club record, 12 catches, 119 yards. Now 3rd in the NFL in catches. He has 80 on the season. And you won't see a Dan Marino fake on this sequence.
Nah, this is, you know, this is the only complaint I have with the rule changes going to 40 seconds. I think once you get down inside 2 minutes, you ought to let teams compete and take it down to 25. Mr. Commissioner, are you listening? Competition committee, are you listening?
The Colts will drop to 5-7. The New England Patriots will go to 6-6 and a share of 2nd place in the AFC East. And they have the Jets and the Colts in their next 2. The thing that really hurts them, this is their first division win. Now the play clock resets to 40 seconds. There's only 31 left on the game clock, and it's over. Marshall Faulk and company didn't get it done. Bill Parcells and his troops did. Bledsoe hit 26 out of 36 for 271, and Joey hit his last 7.
Well, I think, you have to look at what Drew Bledsoe did. I don't think the Colts chucked or controlled Coach very well, obviously. But again, I don't think they gave the ball to the man that they have to get the ball to, Marshall Faulk, much in the second half. I think that was the difference.
Our final score from Indianapolis, the Patriots 12, the Colts 10. Coming up next, Sports Center, Dan Patrick and Keith Olbermann. The top stories they'll be following: Dan Marino and his comeback today, the college bowl picture, and our Sunday conversation with Deion Sanders. For Joe Theismann, Mark Malone, and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Good night from Indianapolis. Sports Center is next after this.